Welcome back to CabMaster. Today we're going to discuss universal cabinets and what you can actually do with them. So the main one, actually if you go to Tool, Universal 1, this is the main universal cupboard. But just to point out, if you go to Floor, Standard, Floor Universal, this is one it is the same cupboard with just a few features removed. It's designed for it to be a base or a floor cupboard. There's also an overhead or a wall cupboard. There's also a tall one. But the universal one is the standard default one, which everything's based off. The universal S is a single part. It is again, same cupboard. It's a universal cupboard, but it has only one section in it, which I'll show you in a second when we get to these sections. So I'm going to start with this one here. So this is what the universal cabinet starts like. So what I always do, depends what I'm doing, but normally I'll come in here, I'll turn off the doors to begin with, just give me the cabinet. A few things you can do. I'm going to actually go into labor and construction. You can turn all your parts off and on. So here's my back. I've also got rails in there, so I'm going to turn the rails off in this one. So top, you can also have mid rails as well. So I'm going to turn the bottom rails off, middle rails. Just have a solid back in there. But you can also move them all offset as well. There's a lot of things you can do in here. Same as your back. You can move it up and down. You can extend it up and down. Positive and negative, depends how you want to do it. You can have it pinned on, you can have it between ends. There's a lot of things you can do with every single part in the universal cupboard. It is extremely flexible. Same as the rails, ends as well. You can do recess. Again, just throw a number in and see what it does. So I'm recessing back, recess up. So you can see what everything does with it. So you can, moving it to the left, moving it to the right. You can turn your ends off individually. These are all the standard things you can do with this universal cupboard. You can chamfer, so we can go up to here, go 100 by 50, and you'll see I've now got a chamfer there at 100 by 50. Make it easier to see. There's 200 by 50. You can radius the top. If you go, say 50 by 50, it'll make it easier. And now it's a radius instead of a chamfer. There's a lot of things you can do in here. Again, vertical offset of 50 mil. So I can drop this one down here, 200, and come in 150 by 150. And you can see I've now got a nice looking cutout on there. So there's a lot of things you can do. And again, top, bottom, and a left hand, right hand. Radius top, radius at bottom, exactly the same. You can do both ends. So you can start and you set the top back. There's a lot of things you can do in this in the universal cupboard. This is just the beginning. Divisions, you can offset divisions. Again, top and bottom offset, turn things off and on. You can raise the bottom up so it sits on a kick or put it inside the cupboard. Kickers, again, what do you want to do with it? There's a lot of things in here. Shadow, pipe chase, there's a lot of things. Hutch, you can add a hutch to a cabinet. So now they're going to work within this first section here. The hutch sits on top. So if you're actually doing proper wardrobes, you can have the hutch above the wardrobes and all the doors and divisions or settings divisions in the lower section. So you can, again, turn everything off and on. I can split the cupboard, split back into 2 equal parts. I'll split the cupboard in 2 equal parts, sorry. If you're going for, especially with the hutch, you want to do things like that as well. Do it on something above it, something below it, or it's just going to give you those extra parts in that cabinet. And you can start doing pricing. Now that's the construction. That's one area. The next area is we start, I normally start in here. Where do we start? We'll start with, I'll just make this large, make it easy to work with. So we've now got an 1800 by 1800 square. First thing you do is actually say sloped. Now, this gets a little bit confusing for some people. So what you do when it's sloped is you can specify what the left height, what the right height actually is. So you can see I've now got the right hand side of 450, and the other height of it is to there. So if you did this at 900, and this is how far I'm coming in across the top. So I'm coming in at 450 across from the left hand end. So you can control a lot of these things here. How do you want to build it? If it goes under a set of stairs, things like that, that's how you do it. So, but for today, we're just going to play with a rectangle. The next thing you can do is you can come in here and say how many divisions do I want. You can have up to 4. And all I'm doing is splitting this cabinet into 3 parts now. Again, you can make them even. You can adjust the heights, adjust the dimensions. So I want this at 250. I'm going to have this one at 250 on the other side, and the middle bit's whatever's left over. So you can specify which one is the automatically calculating one. I do something more sensible. So I can do things like that, or you just make it even. Again, recess things, offset things. What I've done is when you say I want to have 2 divisions, you create 3 sections. So I've got this area here, and the universal S is just one area, is all it is. The universal 1 is all the areas. So I can come in here and go to area 1. So I'm now only talking in this first section here. That's all I'm looking at. So as you go into the universal cupboard, you break it down bit by bit. So what I can do here, just to make it even more, I can split this into another 2. I've now got 3 areas in area 1. So I've now got an upper, a middle, and a lower, which are these areas here. Now each one of these, I can actually split this into half again. So I've now got 2 sections in the mid area. So now I've got 2 options here. So what I need to do, what you can do in here, is you go, okay, in the upper left, which is it's the upper section, I want to put in, let's put in some shelves. So I've now got shelves in there. I don't care how many shelves, I don't care if they're fixed or adjustable, I'm just putting shelves in. You'll see as I add in shelves, I've now got an area 1, upper 1 shelves. This is where all the settings for this is. So you just want to put in whatever it needs to be to begin with. Then we're going to go in there down to these settings over here later on and actually configure how many shelves I want. What offset do I want? What do I want to do with the shelves? But for now, I just want to throw shelves in. Then we'll work it out in a minute. And just to make it easy, I'm going to go with shelves again. But the shelves are now only on that left-hand side. On the right-hand side, I can go for drawers, for example. It will now add in drawers. Again, don't care how many drawers, just need drawers in there. And I'm going to go for, I'll put in a grid. So I've now got a grid down there. Again, doesn't matter the size of it, it's a grid. So all you're trying to do now is just configure what is in where. Then you can go to, so I'm going to go area 2. If I don't, I can go in here and go, I want a double hang. It'll put a double hanger in the middle. Go to area 3. I can then again start splitting it up. Do I want to split this in half? I'll actually just only split this completely. And again, once you split it in half, it doesn't have to be even. I can just come in here and say this is only going to be 450 off the bottom. So I've now got a 450 and whatever's left over. So in the top section, I can put in a hanging, and below it, I can put in shelves. So you start building, what do I want in what area? Now what I've got is you can see area 3, lower 1, so this section down here, shelves. So all these pages, these 5 pages here, are just for that section down there now. So you break it down step at a time. How many shelves do I want? I want 2 shelves. Are they evenly spaced? Yes or no? No, let's not make them evenly spaced. Let's do something silly. So now like that. Is it fixed or adjustable? And you'll see it goes from dotted lines to solid lines. So green dotted is adjustable, black solid is fixed. Do I want to recess them? Let's do something just to show you what you can actually do with it. How many holes do I want? Do I want to actually do a cutout? So I can actually come in here and go, yes, I actually want to do a cutout with one of these. And he says now got the scallop on that shelf. So you've got, again, take it down to each level. What do you want to do with it? Do I want to have a lip on the front of the shelf? Yes. Add lip to number 1, but number 2's got a cutout, so I don't want it on number 2. So I've now got a lip on the front. I can offset it. I can change the material on it. So there's a material for that shelf. If I want a panel, I can make it panel material. Do I want to change the machining on it? I can actually view the machining on it. So there's, again, a lot of things you can do with these shelves, especially when you add lips and things in. What do you want to do with them? So, and again, that's just for that section down there. You can then go into the next area, go into the area 1, lower 1 grid. And do I want to put size? I can specify the size of the grid and it'll fit automatically as best it can. Do I want a quantity? So if I go quantity, 2 by 2. I'm going to have 2 by 2 holes, so it's 4 towels, the towel holder. Again, I can change this to 45 degrees and it will adjust that as well. So I've now got the X down the bottom down there. There's so many things you can do in this universal cupboard. It just keeps going and going. And as we showed you before with the construction, I can split the back, split the ends in halves. I can go for double divisions. You just keep going and going with it. So let's go for these shelves over here. Let's do something silly. Let's put these on 15 degrees. So I've now tilted this at 15 degrees. I actually only want 2 of these shelves, but I want them at 15 degrees, both at 15 degrees. So 15 degrees, and then I will obviously want the lip, and all is one. So they're both going to copy the same thing, but they also need to be set back because the lip's now sticking out. So I'm going to recess this 25mm. So they make sure they sit inside the cabinet. I can also change the lip height, things like that as well. So go to lip height, make this 80mm. Again, you can keep going with this cupboard. I can go into drawers, so down to drawers. How many drawers do I want? I want 2 drawers in there. Now from here, so we can see they've got the 2 drawers sitting in there. It's a bit difficult to see with this layout at the moment. But when you're in here, these are all the pages here for the drawers, just this section here. So there's a lot you can do, but you can come down to drawer fronts. Go to fronts, I can include the drawer fronts. They can sit in front of the cabinet, or I can actually put a gap around them and push them inside the cabinet, get them sit in. There's a lot of things you can do with it. So from here, I've built my wardrobe, or it could be anything. This can literally be a standard 2-door cupboard with a set of drawers in it, or it can be a full wardrobe, or it can be something like strange that I've just made in here. The other thing you can do now, you can go to doors. Doors is an interesting thing in here because there's so many different variations of doors. Let's start with sliding doors because they're possibly the easiest. So when you do wardrobes, they normally sit back as these ones here do. You go to sliding doors, you can specify the track height, you can specify the door jambs, you can specify gap to carcass. This might only be 80mm, you can see it's just dropped back now. So there's a lot of things you can change with it, the track height, all those sorts of things. Again, is it flush with end? Is it flush to a jamb? Size of the door jambs, so you can put one on the left and right. So there's a door jamb on the left, there's a door jamb on the right. How do you want it to do all these different things? There's a lot in here. I'm talking quick because there's a lot to do in here. Hinge doors. Now, multiple ways to do hinge doors. You've got divisional doors and cell doors. Divisional doors go include, and I want to put one on the left, one on the end right. Now, what you can do here though is where do you want them to go to? So it's going to cover upper, mid and lower area. It's not going to be full, it's only going to cover to A2. So you can now see the door just changed in the background. Oh, it's only going to go to A3. The door now only goes to here. So I've now got one door covering this entire panel here, the area 1, and one door covering area 2. Now if we go to 3D, you'll see what it looks like. Now this is clearly wrong because I've got a door sitting in front of a drawer as well, so that's not actually going to work. So what you would do here, you can actually turn that one off, for example, put this one into here, and now I've got 2 doors in there and this area is open. Not how I generally do it in this case because we've got different things, especially with drawer fronts in it. So that's a divisional door. A divisional door hangs off the division. Go back to ortho. The division doors hangs off the divisions, hence a divisional door. A cell door, so we go include cell doors. This is a lot more flexible because you can go down, for example, area 1 mid left. You'll see it puts a door to there, but I want it to go I need to put it in a gap on the right of half. I need to know what that dimension is, so I can actually control that size of the door into there. You hinge on the left, hinge on the right. How do you want it to actually go? And it's where you can actually start putting in doors here. So I've got one down the bottom over to there, one down the bottom over there. I actually want to have 2 down there. So it automatically split. I want one on the top up here. Again, you just need to know what size they actually are in what area. This way you can actually make lockers and things as well. So again, depends what you want to make. You literally go, I've got one division in the middle, which you can actually turn off or leave on, and I can have lockers, they have 2 doors either side, and they oppose each other. Left, 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 right, 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 and I've made a set of lockers. And just put shelves in there. Again, depending on how you want to do it, you can keep going with this and keep building more things in there as well. You can also change the materials for the overall cabinet. You can change hardware, door handles. So the standard things you can do, you can also view the machining for each area as well. And you can change the doors. So again, this is a very flexible cupboard. You've got control over every area. It is complex, but it can make anything you really want in there. Again, angled, sloped. You can put chamfers on your corners, radius on your corners. It's an awesome cupboard. You can do a whole lot with it. So thank you very much for watching.